Shalom, it's Lindsay, and today's video is going to be kind of a different video. It's going to be kind of like a story time video, just because lately I've been thinking about how weird my childhood was. Now, I wasn't that weird child. I wasn't a very weird child, I should say. I was a weird child. I was an awkward child. And lately I've been thinking about a lot of the things that happened to me as a child. And a lot of them were really weird that at the time I really didn't think anything of. But now that I think back on it, I'm like, what? Okay, so without further ado, here are stories of pretty much kids that were in my childhood that I didn't really understand or why they happened to me, but they did. So the first one, I literally thought about this morning, and I never realized it until now. Like, it still was weird at the time, but now that I sit and think about it, basically when I was in 7th grade, there was this girl that would sit there during IDR, independent reading, which was like 30 minutes long, and she'd sit there and she'd constantly be putting on chapstick. She would sit there for 30 minutes and put on her chapstick. It kind of took me a while because she did it every day for a week straight, until I realized that she wasn't putting on her chapstick, she was eating her chapstick. Yes, eating it. The next story is about a kid who, when I was in kindergarten or preschool, we would sit in a circle on this rug. Now, while we were sitting on this rug, doing story time, singing the days of the week, doing whatever we were doing in kindergarten and preschool, this kid would pick up anything and everything he found on the carpet and ate it. Like a staple. He'd pick it up and he'd put it in his mouth and he'd swallow it. A little random rubber piece. He'd pick it up and just eat it. A little small goldfish that's been there for like 3 months. He'd eat it. It was so gross. I don't understand. This next story, still to this day, gets me. Like, it's entertaining. I think it's funny. At the time, I did think it was funny too. Well, it was kind of weird at the time. But, I mean, my comeback was, I thought it was smooth. So there was this kid in my 4th grade class, and he sat across from me. It was 4th grade, 5th grade, I don't remember. Whenever I started wearing training bras, whatever grade I started wearing bras, basically. And this kid sat across from me. And every day for about a week, he would come up to me and he'd go, "I see your bra." Now, I mean, usually, like, now, I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever, good for you. Like, I don't obviously wear bras, like, for the obvious. Like, I'm not going to wear a neon yellow bra or a white shirt. But I was so bothered by the fact that he could see my bra. And I'd go home and I said, "Mom, Jimmy said he could see my bra." And my mom's like, "Well, why is Jimmy looking for your bra?" Like, I don't know. Jimmy's weird. So after a while, I finally got tired of it. And I decided that the next time he told me that he saw my bra, I was going to say, "I see yours too." Now, at the time, I don't know, me and my mom thought it was funny, so he'd be like, "I see your bra," and I'd be like, "I see yours too." He's a boy, he doesn't wear bras. I don't know, but that's how I was gonna come back with it, and then he ended up never saying it again, so I never got to say my cool comeback. So, the next story is about a girl, and I don't remember her name. I don't remember what grade I was in. It was sometime in middle school. And I live maybe 3 or 4 blocks away from my elementary school. So one day, my mom had taken my sister and I to the park. Like, we had gone on a walk. Me and my sister rode our scooters to the park. And we were playing at the park, but we walked home. And there was this girl there that I was, like, friends with. Like, we talked to one another in school. And she was like not new, but she was like new that year, and it was like later in the year, so she wasn't new. Like everybody knew who she was. She just didn't have a lot of friends. So we walk home from the park. I am sitting, you can't really see it, but on that couch, like right here. It's right, yeah. Right here. I am sitting on this couch, and behind my camera right here is a window. Like you're sitting on the window ledge right now. There is a window. I am sitting on that couch reading a Marvel Comics book, like everything you need to know about Marvel Comics. I don't know why I was reading it, but I like Marvel Comics. So or maybe it was DC. Who cares? Anyways, so I'm reading this book, and all of a sudden there's a knock on my window, like, and I'm like, Mom, someone's at the door, and like we had windows, or did we have windows back then? I don't even remember. That's when we had our old door. And my mom's like, no one's at the door. Like, you have a doorbell. I look over, and this chick is standing in my mom's hostas. Like, in front of the window, down in my front yard, there's hostas. And this chick is standing in my mom's hostas with her hands like this on the window, trying to get my attention. So, like, instead of walking around to, like, right there through that doorway to open the front door, I lift up the window, and she's like, oh, can you come and play? I was like, no, I'm sorry, I just got back from the park, I have to do my homework, or I said something like that. And the girl's like, yeah, I saw you at the park, and I just want to know if you could play. Like, I felt bad, but, like, you followed me home. Like, she didn't know where I lived. She'd never been to my house before. We never had a play date or whatever. Like, she followed me home. The next story is something that, like, is me, or that something I really never understood, and it kind of bothers me to this day. So when I was in preschool, we had this tub where, like, you'd put moon sand or something. But instead of having, like, moon sand, like normal kids, we had a tub of flour, like baking flour. It was just flour. We'd have to go and wash our hands, obviously, after. Like, we would play in this tub of flour, and for some reason, like, the texture of flour was so satisfying to me. I freaking loved playing in it. Yeah, I played in flour, that sounds weird. But I just loved flour, and now every time I bake, like, I just revisit my childhood, and I, like, want to, like, play with it. And that's weird that I'm admitting it to the internet, but I don't care. Like, we played in a tub of flour, so what? And last but not least, this story is kind of amusing. Like, I feel like it's fun to tell because I'm that stupid. So, we've all had, like, you know, like, how do you explain it? I was in the backseat of the car and your parents are, like, rolling them up. So, like, you have to, like, move your fingers so you don't smash your fingers. Well, one day I was sitting in the back seat and we're at the ATM at the bank. And I'm, like, doing it to myself. Like, I can psych myself out by, like, moving my hands quickly away from the window so I don't smash my fingers. And I tricked myself. So before I could move my hand, my fingers got smushed in a car window. And to this day, my middle finger and my index finger are crooked. Can you see that? Excuse my nail polish, but, yep. So, long story short, don't, like, put your fingers in the windows and try to, like, psych yourself out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if you guys thought these were weird or funny or what, but I thought I might share some of these. I'll probably do another video of, like, things that I believed in as a kid. The whole believing video is basically inspired by Jenna Marbles. I haven't done it yet, but that is actually what has gotten me thinking about my childhood lately. So I'm probably going to do another video of, like, things I believed in as a kid. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. Maybe I had a weird childhood. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Adios.